have cozy music on from like the 60s, but it's like a YouTube playlist. A YouTube playlist that's like, oh, oldies, you're in a coffee shop and oldies are playing while it's raining, and that's what's playing right now while I do my little puzzle. And I reflect on my life and my choices. And I wanted to go live to reflect these, to do a reflection of like, of myself and a reflection for you. Actually, no, I want to do a reflection for you and a reflection on myself and for me about growth and fulfilling your dreams, like following your dreams or just creating the life that you want and you deserve. It takes dedication. It takes it takes a lot of dedication and very much a lot of courage to go to the places, because you have to go to the places in you that you're least comfortable of going in order for you to connect to what's truly important to you. Because most of us, like I was listening to Tara Brach before, and she's a teacher that I recently found online, and she was talking about this before, how much we're all in this sort of trance. Like, notice how many times you tell yourself, well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this behavior anymore. Like, I would rather not, let's say drink too much, or I would rather not eat too much, or I'd rather not spend hours on my phone, or I would rather not, I don't know, like, there's so many. I would rather not spend hours on a video game. I would rather not, but we do it anyway. I do it anyway. I know I do that. I do it with food. I used to do it with alcohol. Especially when you start stopping, you're like, I don't want to do this, and then you do it again because it's just like your normal habitual thing. And especially if you have friends that all do it, you're like, well, you want to fit in, we're social beings, we want to fit in. And so I was reflecting on that, seasonal allergies. Oh my God. And the fact that it's a journey, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of you if you're on this path of healing, in this path of, I'm proud of you just for being human, even if you're not on the path of healing. So imagine embarking on the path of healing and healing everything, all the things, and then seeing them all at once, and then moving through the shame and the guilt that comes with it, and then realizing that you're moving through it with shame and guilt and blame, and then realizing how crazy that is, because you are so courageous and you're just doing it. You're courageous, you're brave, you're looking at your shadow in the mirror, and you're like, right now you're scary, but I love you. And I'm going to love you. And if I don't love you right now, I'm going to figure out a way to love you, because you deserve love. And no one is ever shamed or guilted or judged out of a behavior or anything for that matter. Unless there's like a million peer pressure and they do it for peer pressure. But then if you're doing it for peer pressure, you're not doing it out of self-love. You're not doing it for yourself, So they're not really changed, they're just repressed. And so how do you alchemize that pain to become the version of yourself you want to be while loving? It's like such a fine line. You sometimes you get ahead of yourself and you realize you're trying to judge yourself out of it, and then you have to take a step back and you have to be like, okay, I'm in this behavior and I don't want to be, but I gotta take a step back, accept the behavior, and change it through love, through self-love, through compassion. It's always with compassion and self-love that we are able to change our behaviors. So that's my reflections. And I was not concentrated on the puzzle, and I just did this, and I found pieces that went together. So that's my take on changing behaviors, that unwanted behaviors that you know hurt you, and no matter how big or small. Like it could be just video games, it could be a drug, it could be, I don't know, anything. And where I was in the beginning, where I was talking about going back to the basics, embarking on the journey of healing, becoming the person you want to be, and making changes for yourself, well, it's courageous. And I kind of lost my train of thought. So I have to reflect back on where I was. Man, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. So anyway, I've been really craving, going back to basics, reconnecting with my true self, to find my true passions, to find the behaviors I actually want to do, the ones I really want to do. It's like I spend my day doing behaviors that I'm like, I don't really want to do this, but then the other behaviors seem hard and scary, and then there's like this, where's the in-between of like the natural flow of my soul, my being, my heart, the natural flow of just going with it. I always think of like a child, like they eat, they leave what they don't want on their plate. They're not like compulsive, like I have to eat all of it. They leave what they want on their plate because they're so excited to go play, and then they go play, and then they're so excited to go read, and then they're like right in each moment. And I want to get back to that with the wisdom that I have now as an adult, and my interests have changed and all that, but it still comes back to how present can I be? And that's it's such a hard journey to take, because you really have to see everything you're in. You have to see everything you're in. Like everything. I had to change everything in my life to get to where I am now. And I still have a little bit of stuff to do, and I probably always will, and I have to accept that fact. Like I have things to do, and I have to be here now. Like doing my puzzle, talking to you, and being immersed in the experience, in the presence, and letting love in, even if it can hurt when things get scary and crunchy. But letting love in, being immersed in your projects, and figuring out what your projects are, what you love, what you're passionate about. And also, you have to integrate the responsibility part, because you're not a child anymore. You have this responsibility to come up and provide for yourself. And so it's like the fine balance of like finding both. And that one was really hard for me. Like when I came out in 2014, my first job, I cried each morning before going to work. Each morning. I was so devastated that I had to go out and do something I didn't even enjoy in order to eat. And I'm still devastated, but I'm more accepting of it, and I'm choosing more where I want to be. Like I'm not going to go work at a job where people are going to treat me like, and I'm going to be super bored. Like I go to places where I like to go. So if I love to go to a cafe, well, I'm going to go work at the cafe I love to go to. If I like at one point I was working with kids because I love kids. Then I outgrew it, and now I'm really focused on business, like becoming my own boss, and figured out how I could do that. I've been thinking about this for like 2 years now. I'm really close to actually launching something. But I'm patient with myself, I don't want to force anything. And if I still have things to learn out there in the normal job world, normaljob.com, then I will. And I like my job. I love my job. I meet entrepreneurs like every day, because I'm like, you could tell, like, I'm aligning way more with who I'm becoming. Even in, you know, when I go to new jobs and all that, like, in the outdoor world, like normal 9 to 5s. Because, you know, it's been my dream forever to no 9 to 5, thank you. I make my own money. I have time freedom, financial freedom, and a community of people I love. Like, I'm surrounded by people. I want to be surrounded by kids, elders, adults, and of all ages, and, you know, and culture. I love culture. I love culture. I love how that's what makes me crave so much the going back to basics, because every time I look at like these old, like, I know they're not perfect, but like these like very old towns that people haven't really like became, I don't know how to say it, like industrialized, so they're still there. They're still just like doing these, they're like cultivating their little things, and they're doing their cultural stuff and their celebrations. It's so amazing. Like, if you, I'm referring mostly to like Tibet. I can't remember the town, but I watched this documentary about, like, they're cut off 6 months. They're cut off for 6 months from the rest of the world. Mom! They're cut off 6 months from the rest of the world, and they help each other out, and it's like the most beautiful thing. And when someone leaves, they cry their eyeballs out, no matter who they are. Like, I saw a dad crying his eyeballs out because his daughter was going to become a religious nun. Mom! I'm talking about Tibet because I'm talking about going back to basics, and how I'm so excited to do that. Like, going back to the basics, but also merging like the you know, the new stuff of the world, because I like the old stuff of the world, like when you go back to like these old towns where people are still living ancient ways, but then there's like all these new tools that we can use as tools and not addictions, you know. Like, I'm like right now I'm referring to my phone, and if we could use our phone and all these technologies as like just like responsibly, mindfully, and just whatever we learned here to bring both together and become like a huge family, and then partake in collective healing, and starting to grow our food again, and building like our homes together, and then having the home because it's your home, and then you give it to your children and then children's children, and blah blah blah. And there's no like $20 million of debt forever and ever and ever. It's just, and there's no whatever taxes to pay. It's just, you have a home, and then you have a garden and animals, and you also get to partake in all these cool activities that we created, like going to the gym, or, okay, I don't really love going to the gym, but I mean like all the activities in the city. But it's not like how do you say it, like a running away from our lives. It's, we created the life that we want, and so we're happy with the life that we have, and we're happy with the life that we have, and so we don't use those things as like a gateway, or yeah. Mom, going to the gym. I'll go to the gym with you. I like going to the gym when I have a routine and I go. So I'll go with you. But we could create like a jungle gym outside, you know, with that. We have the houses, and we have like this center of like, I don't know, like town meetings. I don't know, like the small town vibe. And then we create a jungle gym in the woods, so we're like monkeys. And then Mom has like you get like your things, and then there's men and old ladies and women and kids and animals and all that, and then we're all helping each other out, and then the old people are immersed in the life, and they see kids and everyone at the same time. Yeah, weights, that's it, weights. You have your weights, and we create them with wood. No, we could buy normal ones too, but it's fun to create. It's fun to make what you have. Every time I run out of money very much and I have nothing, I freak out for a moment, and then I go into my pantry and I end up creating something super creative and fun. And it's actually fun. Like, that happened to me a few times like in 2022, where I had nothing, and my first initial reaction is to freak out and cry and blah blah blah. And then I go to my pantry and like I have stuff. It's just like all these things that I don't really want to eat, you know, together in normal times. But then when I have no choice, I end up like, okay, I could do this with this and this with this, and then it poof, and it makes like a cool, yummy little something. It was fun. I like doing that. Especially when you're in a group. Like, all alone, it could be extra scary. But when you're in a group and we're like, okay, we have this left, and we have to make do. What do you do? And then there's this one, oh, we could do that, oh, we could do that, we could do that. And we just do it. And then you want what you have. Yeah. I love wanting what I have. It's fun. I'm doing a puzzle, and I put on a YouTube playlist that's called it's like oldies playing out in a coffee shop while it's raining, so you can hear the rain and then you can hear the coffee shop oldies, but it's like if you're outside, so they're like muffled, so it's just like you know what, last year when I was in Mexico last year, I started watching Gilmore Girls because that's what I did in Mexico the whole time. I watched Gilmore Girls, and I was nostalgic of the month of September and October and all of autumn, and just the small town vibe of the Gilmore Girls. And then they don't have their phones, and not everyone's like that. I mean, maybe they have a little book, but you know, and people were less shy to bother you. I don't know, people were outside. It's like, I always remember that time where Instagram shut off, and it's like I walked into a new world. Or like when COVID ended-ish, and I said it, oh no. But when that thing ended-ish, I felt like we walked, or when it started, I felt like we were all walking into a new world, and we were like, hello to each other on the streets, like this feeling of like unity, because everybody in the whole world was going through the same thing. And then when it sort of ended, it also felt that way. Like the first time I went into a public space, I was like, ah! And I was smiling and laughing with the kids, and it was really nice. And when you want what you have, also, you don't like, I don't know why, but you don't feel that need to like overeat or over this and that and this. It's like, it's that calmness of being like out in nature. And it's not even just in nature, I don't know how to explain it, but you know when you go to like this town where there's less houses all compact and there's nature more, and everything is like, it just feels different, it feels calm. Like when I go to Gaspésie, same thing. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's chill here. Yeah, because, I don't know, like the energy gets higher and higher the more compact and distracted we are. The energy gets more tight and more like, what do I do? But when you're like backing up out of it, you get to relax because you know that there's nothing else you could be doing. It's just, you're right there. Yeah, Dirtmontagne is sort of like that. A little less than other places, but Dirtmontagne and Saint-Martin-Lac, I felt it. A little less than when I'm actually out dans la campagne, but like, yeah, I love Saint-Martin, I think, because ever since the floods especially, there's like this sense of community. And that's where you feel the safest, because people know what it's like to need help. Yeah. Oh my god, Josiane's on her way. Josiane's coming. Josiane's my best friend since I'm 5 years old, and she now lives in Quebec, and she's coming. Yeah, Dirtmontagne was our village. I love Dirtmontagne. Okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go see Josiane. Josiane, don't look at this yet because I'm gonna go see you at the bus stop. Bye, Mom. Love you. Love you, everybody.